Hi, I'm Davey Koomans, the author of Beyond Barriers. This is Missy, my dog. We want to tell you about Beyond Barriers. Beyond Barriers is a story that I wrote about my late husband, Davey. Dave had polio when he was 12. I don't know, probably today most people don't even know what polio is because it's been done away with for so many years. But Dave was paralyzed from his waist down, so he had to be in a wheelchair. And many people look at people in wheelchairs, they have no concept of what life is like when you cannot walk, when you cannot do any of the other things that happen when you have some kind of a disability. There's so many disabilities. Some people think that unless you're in a wheelchair, you're not disabled. But if you cannot do something that would prevent you from working or from having a normal life, that's a disability. Well, my husband, when he was 12 and had polio, he realized there are so many things that he could not do unless something was done about it. He knew that some kind of position, some kind of work training had to be done so that a person that wasn't able to do some things would be able to perform other acts of work. He wanted people to know that there was transportation available, because back when he had the polio, there was no way that he could be transported in a wheelchair. Dave went about, got a position was hired by Goodwill Industries, and as in that position, he started making some life changes for so many people. Actually, you'd be surprised if you realized how many changes in your life are there because of the fact that he worked and made so many different changes. You used to couldn't have even ridden a bicycle and get it up on a sidewalk because it was a 12 or 14-inch curb that you couldn't cover. But Dave, when he worked with Senator Bob Dole, when he did, they took all the different disabilities and they said, these need to be changed. So he did so many was on different committees, and the different committees eventually ended up doing the Americans with Disability Act. That act changed lives. It changed the way that you could go into a restaurant if you were in a wheelchair. It changed all the different things that a school child would be able to do if they had a disability. Dave was a person who cared about you. He cared about every person he met. He was he had a fantastic sense of humor. He realized that you had to have a good sense of humor if you were going to be facing all of the problems and concerns that you have when you're in a wheelchair. If you get the book and you read it, it's going to remind you of different people that you know that have different disabilities. The book tells about many different disabilities and the way that we and other people were able to overcome those. I hope that you read the book. I hope that it motivates you to try to help people who have problems. I hope that you read it and you're saying, this person could benefit from that book. And I hope that when you read it, you also get some good laughs, because in the book are many stories about how we traveled with our family and how we would take a room that was supposed to be wheelchair accessible and how we made it really wheelchair accessible. I hope that when you read the book, you're going to also be motivated to be more understanding of people with any disability, whether it's slow learning or whatever it is, that you realize what we need to do is help that person become the best person that they can possibly be, not to tear them down, not to make them feel less of themselves. So please think about when you pick up the book and it says Beyond Barriers, think, gee, I wonder what I could do to go beyond my barriers, and help somebody. I hope that you buy the book. I think you'll enjoy it.